got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel them. I can feel them pull me down. You won't ever let me leave you. You make these nightmares come true. My heart is in the ground. You fucked me up. I'm sober now. You won't ever let me leave you. You make these nightmares come true. My heart is in the ground. You fucked me up. I'm sober now. You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel them. I can feel them pull me down. You won't ever let me leave you. You make these nightmares come true. My heart is in the ground. You fucked me up. I'm sober now. You won't ever let me leave you. You make these nightmares come true. My heart is in the ground. You fucked me up. I'm sober now.
Some things don't work out. That's why you're saying online to help your doubts. And I tried again and again, but your stupid friends are doing your head. So I'm here, waking up from this nightmare where you just a dream, and I didn't believe that I would ever wake up to you walking down on me. Were you just a dream? When the light's shining through, all I see is you. It's all I really need. Just that moment with you. Just that moment with you. It's all I really need. Just that moment with you. Just that moment with you. It's all I really need. That's all.
Yo, yo, yo. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me all right? Anthony Asante says the music is terrible. Too tired for this shit, Anthony. Auntie. Too tired for this shit. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone had an awesome Super Bowl weekend. I personally was in Los Angeles, Hollywood. It was a good time. Had like a sick time partying. I went to Shaq's Super Bowl party on Friday night. Diplo was playing, Zed, DJ Diesel, which is Shaq. That was awesome. Then I went to the Sports Illustrated party the next night on Saturday, which was fucking insane. We had a table. Jack Harlow played. Kygo. It was crazy. Partied super late. Was getting home at like 7 in the morning. It was a blast. It was beautiful in LA. It was warm weather. You know, I got some sun. I didn't tan because I don't tan because I'm white as a ghost. I'm like Casper, but not nearly as friendly. But had a blast. Weather was great. Went to Santa Monica, drank a bunch, laid out in the sun. And now I'm back in rainy, cold Vancouver, which is now effectively an extension of the communist regime of China, apparently. I'm not going to get all political on here. I'm sure you guys know everyone on the internet has been talking about the politics in Canada. They've enacted the Emergencies Measure Act. It's not the War Act like a lot of people are saying. It's the successor to the War Act. I'm pretty sure it's only been enacted 3 times. World War I, World War II, and then something, I can't remember, in the 70s. I can't remember why. It might have had to do with some bombings or some shit. But pretty crazy that it's happening, especially because if you're Canadian like me, you know most of the provinces are starting to rescind the COVID mandates anyways. BC just opened up full capacity at all events. Still need the vaccine passport, but all events, full capacity. Ontario's completely scrapping the mandates March 1st. Saskatchewan, Manitoba. So the provinces are doing what the truckers want already, but Trudeau is just doing his thing. I'm not going to get too into the politics of it. I think it's kind of nuts, but at the end of the day, I've been looking to leave Canada. Unfortunately, I love Canada, I really do, but just for taxes, crypto-friendly, better weather, I've been looking at other options for a while, and this is just kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. So if you want Trader Mayne in your city, let me know where it's at. Let me know why I should move there. I don't have the green screen up tonight. Too lazy. I'm tired. I had a really early flight back yesterday, and I'm just kind of zonked. And I'm not wearing any pants. So if I say I have to go to the bathroom, make sure to tell me not to stand up without getting rid of the screen here, because no one wants to see my pasty thighs. Even though they're jacked, they're white and they may blind you, but I am wearing some pretty cool Canadian Mountie underpants. So there's that. But yeah, hope everyone had a good weekend. This is going to be a relatively quick stream. I know it's not at my normal time. I was out of town and it was the Super Bowl and I was just exhausted yesterday, but I want to get a video out for you guys. I also have a altcoin video coming out this week, and the swing failure pattern video is in the works. So if you guys like the swing failure patterns that I always talk about, everyone's always asking me, what are those? You guys have nagged me enough that I'm going to do an entire video on them. So stay tuned for that. That one should be good. Let's get into it real quick. Shout out to the partners of the stream, Prime XBT. You guys have been doing a great job of helping me out by using that Prime link, Prime XBT. I've left the link in the description. Click the link, make an account, use the promo code Mayne50, and then deposit money. That's super key. Use the code first. You're eligible for up to $7,000 in deposit bonuses. So thank you to everyone who's used the link. It really helps me out, makes me look good to Prime. Please keep doing it. Make new accounts with new emails. Keep fucking just depositing a little bit of money, new accounts on that link. Let's fucking go. Because the happier Prime is, the happier I am at the end of the day. That's all that, my happiness is solely derived from the happiness of my overlords at Prime. Okay, so let's get into the charts here. So I'm going to specifically focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We had a little bit of a Valentine's Day pump, and everything that has happened to catch this last move have been discussed in my videos before. So I'll kind of do some hindsight analysis on the charts, and then we'll go into kind of this chart that I threw up on Twitter. What are all these levels? Where the hell did they come from? And what is my plan going forward for Bitcoin and Ethereum, both on the long side and the short side? Oh my God, I almost puked. I'm thinking of bulking again. My neck's too skinny. So I'm thinking of bulking again. So I ate like a fucking half pound of beef for dinner. It was crazy. Okay, let's see. Sydney, Australia. Didn't someone just get fucking eaten by a shark there? What am I deadlifting? Right now, I'm not really going for max outs right now. So right now I'm deadlifting like 315 to like 350. But for reps, I could probably deadlift like 450 if I wanted to do just one or two. Scottsdale, I really like. It's on the list. Right now, my list is Orange County, but I hate the government in California, but I love California in terms of like its natural beauty, the climate, the lifestyle I love, but I hate the government in California. It's basically like Canada. It's super, not a fan personally. Florida's on the list, but it is far from my family, and there's no mountains and not a ton of nature, at least the nature that I'm used to, mountains and forest and shit like that. Arizona, I really like. That's on the list. Dubai is on the list. I don't know. Eastern Europe, I haven't looked into too deeply. Asia, maybe. I don't know. Move to Ukraine. Aren't you guys about to get invaded by Russia? Oh, the shark only took a couple of bites. That's okay. It's like when a little tiny dog nips at your heels. It's like, oh, it's cute. He's just biting you. But in reality, if that was a big dog, it's doing damage. That dude got fucked up by that shark, I'm pretty sure. Go to Winnipeg, Manitoba, the murder capital of the country. No thanks. So let's talk Bitcoin here real quick. I'm going to do some hindsight analysis just about this area of price right here, okay? And this down leg and this resulting retrace. And then I'm going to discuss all of these levels and my high time frame plan, okay? So what I'm going to do, let's see if I can do this properly. Let's use this. We'll use the perps. Okay. So we came down, right? Remember the 2 weekly levels that we'd been focusing on, right? Weekly order block, bullish. Weekly order block, bearish. And that was basically the entire move. From here to here. You caught almost the entire move by just being bullish at the weekly bullish order block. And then if you're bearish at the weekly bearish order block, you caught a potential top short, right? We can also add one more level in here. Take this to here. That gives us our mid-range right there. Okay, so you could add that level if you want, and you can zoom in, and you can see that that mid-range actually is quite a nice level there. You have this trading range here, right? So this is a very good level here, right? We broke above this little range, pushed through here. So if we get back below here, good chance we go back towards the lower part of the range. But I'm only going to use those 2 weekly levels for now. I'm not even going to look at the mid-range. So we have our weekly bullish order block, our weekly bearish order block. Those are our first 2 levels that we're looking at here, okay? The second level I'm going to zoom in on here is down on the 12 hour. So on the H12, we came up into this weekly bearish order block and this previous price floor, right? So this is support. When we come back to it and retest the underside, you can assume it might act as resistance, right? We had this really nice bottom form here at that bullish weekly order block. We put in the bullish market structure. Boom, we broke away. So market structure is in an uptrend right now, right? The question is this the pullback before the next leg, or is the pullback going to be deeper, right? Down into here and then potentially up, or are we fucked and we're going to zero, right? So right now, these are the 2 kind of bias levels we're looking at. We traded at the bottom of the range, deviated below, now at the top of the range. And what did we do? We deviated the upside and now we're back inside the range. So first thing, we came up, tagged it, clear SFP, okay? So if you want to know how I trade SFPs, I'm going to do an entire video on it, but this is an SFP. You have a swing high, which is a 3 candle swing, okay? That means that there's 3 candles, and the candle in the middle is higher than the one on the left and the right. That is a 3 candle swing. That's how I identify a swing point. So this is a swing low. This is a swing high. This is a swing high. This is a swing low, right? This is a swing high. What would not be a swing high? Let's see if I can find an example of that. This is not a swing high right here, this candle, because this candle here is higher than this one. So the swing high is actually this candle. That's the swing high candle. So when I talk about an SFP, I want to see a candle wick above the swing high candle and close below the wick. Move above, but then it closes back below the wick. And let's say the close was there. So you can see that right here. Here's your swing candle. We went above it, closed back below. Now, you can trade this as a swing failure pattern by simply entering on the candle close, which was all the way down here, and your stop goes at the high. What I'm going to show you guys in the swing failure pattern video is how you can actually get a tighter entry than this. Okay? So that, because the risk reward here, this is the 12-hour chart. The risk reward here for a short kind of sucks, right? Because if you're not entering till the close and then your target or your stop is up there, right? You got to be at least targeting down into here, right? You're targeting this as a breakdown. So you got a little bit of a move, it pulled back, and now we're chilling right around your entry, right? You really need to see it break this low to confirm that you're right, and then see continuation. I'm going to show you guys how you can get in tighter up here, and I'll also show you guys how you can get in here in that video, okay? But not today. Not today, you sons of bitches. All right, so swing failure pattern into our key weekly bearish order block level. High time frame swing failure pattern. If you're not shorting up here, you don't have to. You at least need to be taking some profits on longs. If you got long down here, your obvious objective was here, right? Running above these highs and then into this resistance, this previous floor, that weekly bearish order blocks. So maybe you didn't take profit here because you thought we might go a little higher, but when we close that as an SFP, you got to lock in some gains, right? That's your signal that there's indecision in the market. Maybe we're turning around and now you haven't given back, 5 or 6% in the market. Taking profit is just as important. Where you take profit is equally, if not more important than where you enter. Nothing worse than nailing a trade and then round tripping it or giving away half of your profits. Okay, hold on. My big head is getting in the way here. What if I do this? Is that better? It's because I don't have the green screen, so you can't see through me. I'll make myself smaller and I'll move myself to the right or to the left. All right, does that make sense, right? Someone in the chat tell me like I'm making sense here. So definitely this is a profit-taking area at the very least. And if you are looking for shorts, this is a high probability area to potentially look for those shorts. Okay? Now, why did we bounce here? Well, if the market structure here is bullish, low, high, higher low, higher high, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a higher low to get in a long, right? If you're trading in an uptrend, you don't want to long this, right? You want to long the pullbacks. And this ties in with all the stuff we've talked about, right? This might be a 12-hour uptrend and there might be an hourly downtrend here. So if you're shorting, you're counter trend, but as soon as the hourly flips bullish, you're in a 12-hour uptrend, hourly flips bullish, that means the low time frame is now syncing up with the high time frame. You want to get back in those longs, right? And where do those higher lows ideally form? Not always. They don't always come all the way down. Maybe it just retested a previous high. But ideally, they come down into a bullish order block that has generated that most recent high, right? So you actually have a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and you actually have a swing high right here. There's your one candle, there's your higher candle, there's your lower candle. So there's a swing high right here. And then what happens after? We get another swing high right here. What generated this swing high? This bullish order block. The down candle before the up move that broke market structure. It also broke the market structure of these highs. That was your higher low. Potentially, right? For this higher low to be confirmed, it has to take out this higher high. Okay, but that's how you first of all caught the pullback. Big time SFP. Okay, now I'm looking for a higher low because I want to be bullish because we're in an uptrend here. Where's the best place to go for longs? Okay, there's the bullish order block that generated that high. There's a whole cornucopia, it's a good ass fucking word, of concepts that are blended here. You have market structure, you have an order block, you have swing failure patterns, you have your Fibonacci. What do you think if I drop my fib and drop the OTE on here? Where do you think that's going to form? Look at where the 79 OTE lines up and look at the wicks. There's your order block. There's your 7.9 fib right there, or 78.6 for you uninitiated. And what do we get there? We get buying happening. How do you know? Well, look, you have long lower wicks. You have a bullish SFP into that bullish order block at that 79% retracement. This is a high probability area to look for a long. Okay? Just like you played the SFP here. So let's say you shorted up here. This is a good area to take some profits on that. Now you look here. We have that SFP into that 12-hour order block. So if you entered this SFP, you enter on the close. Stop goes below the low. I would target this bearish order block here as my first target. Target 2 would be a new high. Alternatively, you just have your order sitting at the order block and your stop is below the order block. So you're just entering based on this being an order block. The SFP is just additional confirmation. Even to the order block here, the bearish order block, you still got a 3R trade. Okay? So that's how you would have caught this long. And you can obviously, as I always tell you, you can zoom in. Okay, I've got my 12-hour bullish order block here. I'm going to zoom into the hourly. What am I looking for? I'm looking for reasons to get bullish. Bullish swing failure pattern, break in market structure, higher low into an hourly order block. All of a sudden, I got a way tighter risk reward. Instead of having my stop down here, I could now have my stop here and my entry here, and then target to the left. Right? So you can enter on the 12-hour, or you can use the 12-hour, determine your bias is bullish, you're in an area that you want to look for longs, zoom in, and get a more dialed in entry. This is all stuff I've taught you in previous streams. I'm just showing you. I know it's in hindsight, but repetition is good, right? Showing you over and over and over again. I spot this stuff very fast because I've been doing this for a long time. The more you see it, the more comfortable you're going to get finding it in your own charts and then ultimately executing on it in your own charts, right? So that was the little Valentine's Day pump here. Now the question is this: are we forming a lower high here? And we're going to actually make a lower low and the trend is now shifting? Or is this just a little bit of a pullback and we're actually just kind of retesting the middle of this range here? And we're going to go back up and boom, right? So that's the question now. So there's a couple things you can look at here, in my opinion. One, you have that 12-hour SFP here. Within this range, from this high to this low, we're rejecting right at the OTE into a bearish order block because technically we did break market structure here, right? We have a low, a lower low, a higher low. That makes this a swing low. We broke that. We're now retracing into the order block, this candle that broke market structure. So technically you could have shorted this up in here. Invalidation is here. Why is my invalidation here? We hit the level, we deviated above it, and we closed back below. Price has no business getting back above this high if it's going to go lower, in my opinion. If we come back up here, to me, this is now an SR flip, right? We had resistance here into that weekly bearish order block, or support, excuse me, resistance. If we get back up here after running the level and start consolidating above it, I think we go higher. And another key level that you could add here is the yearly open. There's January. Where's January? Here's January. That's the yearly open right there. Right? So to me, there's your weekly order block. There's your yearly open. You can look at it on the 4-hour even, lower time frames if you want. We've already ran up into here. So if this is going to go down, if we're going to make a new low and trade back into here, this is the high. That level should not get broken if we're going lower. Oh, God. Does that make sense to everyone? So my assumption is that we stay in the range always, right? So if you go like this, if you say this is our range here, right? This is our range. We formed the range. We deviated the range high. We traded back to the lower part of the range into support. Found a bid, and now we're trading back towards the upper part of the range. Now we're finding resistance. So to me, if we get back below the range or back above the range, I'm going to probably expect continuation at this point. Okay? So right now, we're retesting effectively the 50% here. Right, we got the 50% point here. We're basically retesting that level here. So bulls really want to see us hold this kind of area right here. And you can see we're getting a little bit of a reaction already. But if I'm bullish, I don't really want us to trade below 43 for any extended period of time. Ultimately, if we make a new low below this low here, okay, that locks this in as a lower high. We've now shifted the trend. Now we have a high, a lower high, and a lower low. The 12-hour trend is now going to be flipped bearish. This is the 4-hour, but it'll look the same on the 12-hour. And I would be looking to target back into here. This range, right? Remember when we were trading in this range between these two levels? I'd be targeting back into here. Okay? So the bullish case, if you did not long here, I'm not longing into resistance here. Like maybe you long this pullback or you long it a little lower, something like this. Sure, if you want to. Me personally, I'm waiting. I'm seeing some rejection here, right? There's a SFP right there. Okay, this looks like a lower high. I'm just going to wait. And if we're able to get back up above 45,500 and ultimately back above the yearly open, I'm going to open a long targeting 50,000. Okay? Why 50,000? Because I like 50,000. No, it's a big round number, right? Psychological number, round number. Okay? You also have all of these untouched highs here. So you have some liquidity here in the form of highs. You have that nice round number at 50K. And then if it's really bullish, right, we have equal highs just up here, around 52K. So my long scenario personally is if this is going to hold, and we come up here, this high should not get run if it's bearish. We've already put in the swing failure pattern. So if this is either already played out or it's going to play out further. We're not going to come up here, in my opinion, and do this. We could, but I just don't see it as being likely. If they wanted to send this thing down, they've already trapped a bunch of buyers up here. They're going to break this thing down, right? They'll trap buyers. It's more likely that we see something like this, right, than another run of this high here. I just don't see that happening. To me, that's your bearish invalidation. 46,000 basically. If we get back above 46K, I think we go to 50. So if we get back above 45.50, 550, and then the yearly open, which is 46,224 on FTX's perp contract, okay, that would be a long trigger for me up into 50K. And I'd be looking for whatever swing low formed, right? So we come up, whatever swing low formed before the reclaim of the yearly open, like a 4-hour close above there, I'm in. Pullback, whatever, I'm longing. My stop is below that swing low. My first target is 50. Target 2 would probably be above these highs here. Okay, that would be my long plan. Could we drop and then go up? Of course. We could dip below this mid-range level, retest this little SR right here, right? But just like this is your invalidation for bearishness, if you're looking to get long here, we cannot lose this low. So that's where your long idea is wrong. If we trade back down here and below this low, to me, that's a sign that we're going to break down. And I'd be looking to short back into like 38K. I know that's not a straight line. I'm not a straight person when I do charts. Okay? So I know I've talked about a lot of shit, but I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. If you've been following me along for a while, this plan should make pretty clear sense, right? I think this is a no trade zone for me personally. The other thing you have to keep in mind is we have some macroeconomic headwinds that are seemingly having some strong reset flexivity to, kind of price, right? On the intraday charts, right? You'll see these Twitter accounts tweet out that the invasion of Ukraine is on and then it's off. They're putting troops in, they're pulling troops out, and you're seeing the dollar index go like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see some choppy price action here. That's why I'm waiting for a clear trigger. If you did not short up here or up here, right? I think you just wait for a breakdown of this base, right? wait for a breakdown of this base, get short into here. And personally, I think if we get back below 40, I think we run these lows, right? Like, I think this is probably something that would happen. If we lose this 4,900 area, 41K, if we lose this swing low, I think we probably come back and test 35, 36, to be honest with you. But I'm not going to guess yet. I'm going to play it level to level. So this would be kind of my short trigger. My long trigger would be above here. And in the meantime, I'm chilling, right? Because I didn't long this because I was drunk. I didn't short this because I was drunk. Maybe I should start drinking. Probably not, though. But those are the two kind of plays I'm going to wait for rather than try and get into some intraday. You know, there are going to be day trades, you know, between, you know, maybe we come down here and you long it back to here. I don't know. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's totally up to you. Go down to the 5-minute chart and fucking, you know, try and scalp swing failure patterns on the 5-minute, you know, and go ahead to your heart's content. You want to like long this, catch a little trade, take profit into the bearish order block? Absolutely, be my guest. But that's not something I'm interested in doing right now. I'm going to wait for a more high confidence setup, which I think is going to either occur above here or below here. Okay? So that's about as clear as I can fucking make it for you guys. All right? Let's check the chat real quick here. This guy says, first time here, primarily because now I'm certain that Bitcoin Savage, aka Savage Charts, that posts charts on Twitter, is not the same person on Twitch. Just saying. Well, I'm neither of those people. So there you go. OC a bit boring. Do LA or San Diego? Never been to San Diego. I've heard great things. Come to Malaysia. Never been to Malaysia. Would love to go. Boise, Idaho. If I can move anywhere in the world, I think Boise, Idaho is not super high on the list. I'm going to be honest with you. I have amazing snowboarding and outdoor stuff here. I want like better weather. I don't think Boise has correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Idaho, I know Idaho's got potatoes, but I don't know if they've got the weather that I'm looking for. I want it to just be warm all the time, man. When you live somewhere where it's perpetually gray and rainy, like Vancouver's beautiful in the spring and summer, it's beautiful. And we get some beautiful days in the winter as well, where it's, 10 degrees, 11 degrees Celsius, and it's sunny and clear. But you convince yourself that it's not that bad. And then you go somewhere like California where it's just sunny all the fucking time, like you just feel better. You just do. It's just the way it is. Thanks, Mr. Dory. I am having a great day. Okay, it sounds like it makes sense to everyone. Cool. What's up, Mysterious Samurai? What does OTE transfer? Optimal trade entry, correct. Hey, maybe we love to hear your thoughts on SLP if you get a chance. Smooth Love Potion. There's my thoughts on it. Yo, Mayne, how's Pump and Iron going? I fucking bitched out on the gym today because I'm just fucking exhausted, man. I woke up this morning. I couldn't get myself out of bed. That's why I'm doing this stream so late. But I am going to the gym tomorrow. We're getting back at it, baby. Lightweight. Best resource to learn ICT concepts on fucking YouTube. He's on there. He posts videos. Why does yearly open so much? I think what you mean is, why does it matter? Think of it this way, right? It's built-in SR. And if you think that it's the same reason why the weekly open matters, right? If you know where the weekly open is, it's here, right? And if you think we're going up for the week, it would behoove you to know that, okay, well, here's the start of the week. I'm bullish this week. If we trade below the weekly open and then get back above it, wouldn't that be a pretty good place to get long? Because now you know that, okay, this was just a deviation below. That's my validation. There's my entry. The rest of the week, it closes up here, right? This candle looks like this, right? There's your weekly open. So that's, if you're bullish on the week, you want to get long below the weekly open or on a reclaim of the weekly open. Same goes for the yearly open, right? If we get back above the yearly open, perhaps there's a chance that the low of the year is in and we're going to make the yearly high, even if the low of the year isn't in, right? Even if the low of the year isn't in, if we're trading below the yearly open and then we reclaim it, at the very least, right, we basically made the yearly open and dumped. So if we get back above it, there's a good argument that we're going to trade higher, and either the low of the year is in or we're going to go in and place the high of the year. Either way, I want to be bullish above that level since we traded below it to start the year. Just like that example I explained with the weekly open or the daily open. You can use that strategy on any fucking candle. If you think this next hourly candle, if you think this H4 candle is going to be bullish, which it's looking like it is, wouldn't you be interested in getting long either below or once it reclaims? Because now you know if this candle is going to be bullish, okay, well, that was a deviation. That's the low of the candle. You're longing the reclaim. You're already in the money. Make sense? Okay. This man said plethora. Would you explain bullish SFP again? No, I will not. I'm going to do a video on it, but I explained it already. Just rewind the video. How do you enter an H12 candle close when it's at like 4 a.m.? There's a couple ways. You either don't sleep and you stay up, or you just don't trade that candle close. Trade on the daily, right? If the H12 candle closes at 4 a.m., the daily candle closes at 4 p.m. So trade a daily candle close or trade an 8-hour. Just make it work with your sleep schedule in your system. But that's why you now understand why most of us traders post those Pepe memes with the bags under our eyes and our sleep schedule sucks, right? Especially if you live where I live on the West Coast. Would you ever do a video on trade management? Maybe. I don't know. Perhaps. How am I getting U.S. citizenship if I'm thinking to move to Cali? I would probably have to buy it. Or I'd have to have a fake gay marriage, if anyone's interested. I love you too, Guts. Mercenary. Hey, Mayne, how do you trade, Mayne, with these huge geopolitical issues currently? The same way I trade normally. I just look at the charts and I try and ignore the noise. Ask BitBoy if I can stay at his crib. I mean, he probably has good snacks. That much we know for sure. I was going to say you were cute. I hope you're straight. I am straight. Straight as a fucking curved arrow. No, I'm definitely straight. Unless I'm straight. Definitely straight. My editor's going to cut this in a way that makes it sound like I'm not. But I am. Or am I? I don't know. I am. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get into Jasvir. I saw your question. I answered it. You don't need to copy and paste it 3 times, bro. Once you move to the USA, you'll always have to declare taxes no matter where you go. Yeah, I don't think I would get a U.S. passport, to be honest with you. I'd probably set up residency somewhere else and then live in the U.S. part-time, something like that. Okay, so let's do let's quickly go back to this. So where did I get all these fucking levels? Well, you kind of know now. And as you can see, my plans here, the yearly open, that range high, move up to 50, break below the base, move down to that lower range, and then 35-ish thousand. So you now understand this chart because I broke it down for you. The only level that you don't have that I have on this chart that you don't have on that chart I just drew up is this mid-range here. This low to this high. This is kind of the mid-range of this bull market here. And you can see all of that action we talked about. Where's that weekly order block? It's right here. Where's the yearly open? It's right here. Where'd that SFP occur? Right at that mid-range. Crazy how I can draw a range all the way back from January to March of last year. So this range is a year old, and look at how reactive price is to it an entire year later. If this ends up being the top and we go down like this, that's crazy, right? That this range is that reactive, but it's clearly a key level, right? There's the range established. We broke down, sold off to the lows. Reclaimed the range, pumped. Broke below, back above, so this became a deviation, and we launched. We went above the range, got back below. We dumped where? Right to the mid-range. Sold off again, back up to the mid-range, and we're finding resistance. So pretty cool. I love seeing that. That's what stuff I love about price action is when I have some old ass level and like boom, the top or the temporary top at least right at that mid-range. So the only level that you don't have from this breakdown that I just did here is that mid-range level, but it's just confluent with that weekly order block and the yearly open. It's right smack there. Okay? So now you know what I posted on Twitter and why. Okay? I have all of these fucking levels and this plan, and it's all based on what I just explained to you. We have that SFP here. We have this low here. Lose the low, short it. Regain that high, target 50K. I don't need to trade in here. You can, right? There's going to be trades. This range, this is a range on its own right here, right? Like I said, this is its own range. So if you want to trade from here to here, and then from here back to here, and possibly down to here, we could go like this for a while. I don't know, right? Maybe we trade here, and then go up to the top, and then back down below. Maybe we do some shit like this. I have no idea. And if you want to trade that, by all means, go ahead. But based on my analysis on the high time frame, if I'm patient and I wait for a clear setup that gives me confidence that I'm going to be right, I can catch a 10% move to the upside pretty easily because I'm pretty confident if we get back above here, we're going higher. High confidence, high conviction trade that has up to 10% upside unleveraged. I'm into that all day. That's a month maker trade. If you catch a long from the yearly open to 50K and you size it properly, you've got your risk defined and you nail it, that could be the only trade you need to take all month. That's plenty of money. You catch a couple of those trades a month, you're laughing, right? Same thing on the downside. If we break down here and I have a high conviction short, back down into here, 10, 15% unlevered, that's the only trade you need to take all week, all month, if you nail it, right? Okay, so Bitcoin, done and dusted. We're now going to look at Ethereum. Ethereum, to me, there's a couple super key levels here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll break it down on the FTX chart so I don't mess up my pretty pictures. My pretty pictures. I said I wanted to keep this video short. We're already at a freaking hour, Mayne. What's wrong with you, Mayne? Okay, so Ethereum. We formed our top, broke back down below, and where did price stop? Right at that bullish order block. What is the low of this candle? 2158.9. The bullish order block is at 2168.3. Pretty precise. Let's get precise, as Jordan Peterson would say. Would say. Okay. Where did we trade into? Right into this weekly bearish order block here. This also happens to be a weekly or a previous weekly open, 3150. So that's kind of your big range that you're looking at. We are, again, finding some resistance up around this level, right? We broke up. We're in a clear uptrend here. There's your low, lower low, higher low. And this is just bullish market structure here until we had this high. This is a break. This wasn't an SFP, but then we broke this low. So technically, we have a high a lower low, and a potential lower high here. So what I'm watching for is this area is being super key. If we're able to flip this 3150 area and this bearish order block, I think you have a very clear skies long up towards like 3600, 3800, up into here. This floor at least, and then probably higher as well, right? So for me, this is resistance for now. We really need to get above 3150 in my opinion and hold above there, because right now it's resistance. So if we get above there, right, take out this high, whatever swing low generates this high, that's my risk. The pullback, if it gives you one, right, is your long and you're targeting into here and potentially as high as here. That's a high confidence trade. Could I get a better entry if we pull back a little more? Like maybe this is it. Maybe we're just retesting this and now we're going to go. But for now, this just made a lower low and this looks like a lower high. So I'm not as confident in this setup based on the 12-hour. I'd be much more confident if we flip this. So I'm going to wait, just like on Bitcoin. I want to see Bitcoin kind of get above 45.5, get above the yearly open. I want to see Ethereum reclaim 3150 and this bearish order block that's formed here. Above here, I got a high confidence long into here. Same thing as on Bitcoin. This is a 10 to 15% move here. I'm happy with that. I don't need to get long a little lower and have less confidence. I'm way more confident up here. Okay, exact same as Bitcoin though. If we lose this swing low here, there's your bullish SFP that caused this most recent run up. No reason to get back below this level. So if we get back below 2850, I think we trade lower. Okay, so again, above here, I'm looking to long. Below here, I'm looking to short and probably into some of these lows. Okay, those are my two triggers, down here or up here. I'm not doing anything in the meantime. If you want to trade in between, by all means, trade to your heart's content. I'm just sharing what my plan is and what I want to do and how I plan on executing it. Obviously, I could be wrong. I could end up being right, but you could get a better entry than me. There's a million different things that could happen. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. All that matters is, does your trade idea make sense for you? Does it follow your trading plan? Is your risk managed? Do you have a clear entry, exit, take profit, stop? You tick off all those boxes and you pull the fucking trigger. Okay? So that's exactly what I'm talking about here, right? We could potentially come a little lower and then go up, but I believe if we get above 3150, okay, I think there's a good chance that if we get above 3150 and hold, we'll trade up into here, and then the second target would be up into here. Okay, lose this low, I think we can trade all the way back down below these lows. People always ask me, right, how do you know this was going to work? How do you know if you should long? How do you know if you should short? How did you know that it was going to bounce at this level? You don't know. Anyone who tells you that they know what's going to happen is lying to you. No one knows for sure, right? What you're doing with technical analysis is like, think of it like gambling. If you know all the rules of poker, you know all the probabilities of every hand based on what cards are on the table, what cards you saw that guy fold, what cards you have. You're stacking the odds in your favor. But it's still gambling, especially in poker. But a good poker player, right, is going to be better than a bad poker player. He's going to take his money, right? Same thing with blackjack. Blackjack, you're not going to win, right? The odds are never more than 50% in your favor. They're less, right? Because they use 6 decks and all the other things combined, and there's other players, right? Maybe if you play perfectly and everyone plays perfectly at the table, you got, let's say, like a 45% chance on winning. But you've stacked the deck in your favor by knowing the rules, knowing the probabilities, knowing the cards that have been played. TA is that. You're stacking the deck in your favor. You're doing analysis, and you're saying, okay, based on X, Y, and Z, I think this is the most likely outcome. And then you're making an educated bet that's risk adjusted. You know how much you're going to lose going in. You know the potential upside, and you live with the results. I have trades that line up perfectly, and I say, okay, bullish order block, blah, 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 blah. It ticks all the boxes. I enter, I get stopped out. That happens. You enter a short because of reason XYZ, or a long because reason XYZ, and Russia just said that they're launching nukes at Ukraine, and the dollar pops off and equities crash and you're fucked, right? Or maybe you were just wrong. Like you're not always going to be right. You're going to actually be wrong more often than you're right, especially early on. If you have an over 50% strike rate, you're crushing it, right? But you can make money having a 30, 40, 50% strike rate if you are using asymmetric risk reward and you have a system that you follow. But you're just stacking the deck in your favor and you're making an educated guess. But I think a lot of people, they get to the point where they do all this TA, but then they get gun shy. They're not ready to pull the trigger when the time comes, and it's like, okay, you just need to execute, right? And maybe you're going to get it wrong and you're going to lose money. Losing money is the tuition that you pay to go to Trader University. Losing money. You're going to fucking, in crypto especially, you're going to get scammed. You're going to get hacked. You're going to send money to the wrong address. You're going to over leverage on a trade and get liquidated. That's all your tuition. And what you need to do as a trader and an investor is learn from those mistakes and try to not make them again, or at least minimize them. That's your tuition. But the best way to learn in trading specifically is by doing. You can watch all my streams, all ICT's videos, all of Trader SZ's videos, all of Cred's videos. But until you get in the charts, start marking them up yourself, and then actually executing on your ideas, you're never going to learn. So when people ask me, like, how did I know to take the trade there and it worked out perfectly? For every trade that's worked out, I've had hundreds that haven't, right? So sometimes you just got to pull the trigger and then let the trade play out. And let's say you take a short here because you're like, okay, here's my break in market structure, bearish order block. We're in high time frame resistance, right? This is a bearish order block. That's a break in market structure. My stop is here. My entry is here. And I'm targeting, here. So you take all of the rules. It lines up with your system. Everything is in line with, you getting in this trade. And your target is here. And you go to bed. And then you wake up tomorrow and price does this and then did this, right? Well, now you can go and you can say, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? Should I have taken some profit here? What was my entry off? Or maybe you wake up and price does this. You nailed it. You go to your journal. Hey, here's why I took the trade. It was this, this, and this, and it worked. Boom. That's a journal entry of you following your system and it working. And if it doesn't work, maybe you did something wrong. Maybe you said, okay, well, I shorted here, but it had already, let's say it does this, right? It gets up here and it's holding here, but then you short, right? And you're like, okay, well, actually 3150 was a key level. It clearly flipped that as support and then it went up. So I got stopped, right? Like you're going to learn from those mistakes. Bad trades don't need to be just about losing money. Those are lessons. Write it down, take a screenshot, and try and figure out what went wrong. And sometimes you did something wrong. Oh, I ignored this SR flip, or my stop was too tight. And sometimes you were just fucking wrong. And that's okay, right? So sometimes you just got to pull the fucking trigger, right? And get in the fucking trade and then see what fucking happens. And go with it from there, man. So yeah, one of the most common questions, how did you know to do that? I don't know what to do. Here's my reasoning for this. I'm like, take the fucking trade and see what happens. Then tell me. I would rather you show me a trade that you took that didn't work and then have me look at it with you than you tell me, is this a good trade idea? I don't know. Why are you in it, right? People will just send me a chart and be like, is this a good trade? I don't fucking know. What's your logic behind it? I'd rather you show me the trade you took that didn't work, and then we can now have something constructive to discuss than just asking me to do the work for you, you know? Okay. I think this is enough for today's video. I know it's not the longest video, but it is an hour. I covered what I wanted to cover in terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hopefully the plan are super clear. I gave you a very clear long setup, right? Very clear long plan into here, and short plan into lower, down into here. Okay, for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very clear long plan, right? Above here. And short plan into here. So if price is here tomorrow and you ask me what I'm doing, you know that the answer is nothing, right? I'm waiting. I have very clear areas where I want to do business, okay? And until we get to those areas, I'm going to be playing on my Oculus Rift, working out, jerking off, and all the other fun stuff that I do. Who knows? Maybe I'll go outside. Hasaka does have a great thread on SFPs. You can look it up. CT would love if you got gay married. They would love if I got gay married. And for that reason, I'll never do it. Why do you wear a hat if you've buzzed your hair? Have you ever worn a toque? We call these toques in Canada. Some people call them beanies. They're comfy as fuck. Why wouldn't I want... If you have hair, you can't really feel the hat. When I have a buzzed head, I can feel the hat and it keeps my head warm and I'm cozy and it looks cool. Why wouldn't I wear it? I literally have a t-shirt on, no pants, glasses, and a toque. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm rocking it. Any Africa country in your mind? Do I look like someone who belongs in Africa? Bro, I don't have enough melanin to survive in Africa. I would burn. Like, don't let the tattoos fool you. This is a piece of paper, and this is my skin. They're the same color. I would die. What's your thoughts on fear or FOMO? Don't do it. Don't try and avoid any emotions in your trading, right? You want to be a robot. As little emotion as possible. If you have a clear plan, right? So let's say that Bitcoin comes up here tomorrow and it's like this. And like, are you going to just freak out and long, right? FOMO, oh shit, I missed the bottom. I better long, right? And then what happens if it does this? And then you close your long. And then the next day you wake up and it's like this, right? And now you're like, oh shit. So you long again and then it comes up to 50K and then it dumps, right? You're like getting fucking destroyed this entire move. Whereas, okay, my plan is to long above here. So if it does this, I'm chilling, right? I'm chilling. Boom, long trigger, stop there. Now I'm long. Even if it doesn't pull back very far, we regain that yearly open, I'm long. I caught from here to here. So what if I miss this? I don't care. So what if I miss this? My plan was here. When you have a plan, it's so much easier to not feel FOMO and feel emotion when you have a plan. The most often time you're going to feel FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of missing the move, is because you don't know how to get in. That's the problem. If price starts dumping here, right, and then you short it because you're like, oh shit, it's going to zero, but it just comes and retests this, and then goes up, you're going to be like, what the fuck, right? But my plan is to short here. So if it starts dumping from here, I don't care. I missed this short. I don't care. I have a plan. And if it triggers, boom, now I'm on board. I don't care about my entry. I care about from where I entered to where I exit, did I make money? That's all I care about. Is the light bulb still alive? Man, I'm so pissed. The light bulbs in my closet broke or went out, right? They're these like weird little fluorescent bulbs. You know those ones that shatter super fucking easy. So I bought new ones on Amazon. I fucking tossed it on my couch. And I guess at some point it got knocked off my couch onto the floor. And so I opened the bag up today, and just all the fucking pieces fucking fall out onto the floor. Naturally, I step in them, and I get a huge piece of fucking glass in my heel. It hurt like a bitch. And then Cred absolutely eviscerated me at the ratio. It sucked. Are these the same fundamentals for a scalp, say on the 15-minute chart? As long as you're East Van Cooley, I like your name. As long as you're doing top-down analysis. So what I'm showing you here is weekly, 12-hour, 4-hour. Right? So high time frame for my bias and my key levels. 12-hour to dial in my levels. So on the weekly, right, I didn't have a level here, but now I do on the 12-hour. This has, if I'm bullish, I want this to be bullish, this to be bullish, and then my entry is on the H4. I wait for my H4 to give me a bullish entry. This could be the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the 15 min. It doesn't matter, but if I'm bullish on this and I'm bullish on this, when I'm scalping on the 15-minute, my high probability trades are going to be when the 15-minute is syncing up with those two high time frames. But the fundamentals are the exact same. But one thing you have to be aware of is if you're entering, on the 4-hour down to the 15-minute, like I just showed you, and you're taking shorts because the 4-hour is bearish and the 15-minute is bearish and the hourly is bearish. But if the weekly is bullish and you come in as this weekly support here, don't be surprised if you get one of these that absolutely just nukes you. Right? The high time frame is always going to take precedent, but as long as you're doing top-down analysis, it doesn't matter. Principles are the same. Have you ever been to Kelowna? Yeah, I love Kelowna. I love the Okanagan. Mayne, it's 2 a.m. in Toronto. That's a good thing I don't live there, man. It's fucking late. You should go to bed. This guy says I'm an amazing cheater. What's up, Ms. Takes? Come down to Montana. I'd love to. I love horses. I'm good, Ohms. How are you, man? I just lost 50K, but it's part of the process. You're right. About to deposit another 50K and hope leverage works this time. I hope you're being funny because if you're just blowing money, trading leverage, stop that. You're just gambling. Build a process. You don't need leverage to make money. Yes, I've been to Calgary as well. Love Calgary. Love me some Cowboys. All right. Long ass video. It's now 11 p.m. here. It's time for me to do my nightly ritual, which involves getting in bed and then staring at Twitter on my phone until 2 in the morning because I'm an insomniac. But I love Colombia, man. Last time I went to Colombia, I almost didn't leave. Las chicas, woo! Too much. And I almost lost my foot. If you guys followed me on Twitter back in 2018, when I was in Colombia, I got a fucking bacterial infection on a cut in my foot, and I developed a flesh-eating disease. Or is disease the right word? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But I developed a flesh-eating disease on a cut in my foot because basically I was out partying, I'm drinking tequila, I'm eating ceviche, I'm doing a little bit of cocaina. I'm just fucking partying my face off. And a little aguardiente. And I'm just wearing flip-flops everywhere because I'm in Colombia and I'm a tourist and I'm white. So I'm wearing flip-flops like at the bar like an absolute clown. And I guess I tripped and rolled my ankle and I cut it. But I woke up the next day hungover and my ankle hurt, but I just figured I rolled it. It's just a sprain. So I was like, I'll just walk it off. What I didn't realize is it was the cut that hurt, not the sprain. And then progressively over the rest of the trip, my foot just started to get more swollen, and they went black and blue. But I didn't do anything for it. I just, I didn't have insurance. So I'm pouring I'm pouring fucking alcohol on it, like tequila on it, and I would just drink until it didn't hurt anymore. I was very stupid. Do not copy that. Go see a doctor. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm leaving in a few days. I'm just gonna power through. And by the end of my trip, I could barely walk. I got on a plane, and then the change in pressure just caused my foot to like explode. It was like pulsing. It was so painful. I got off the airport, got off the plane here in Vancouver. I called my dad. I was like, don't freak out, but you need to pick me up and take me directly to the hospital. I went to the hospital, and I was in there for 5 days on antibiotics. And the like nurse and doctor told me, they're like, good thing you got here this soon. Like, this is flesh-eating disease and much longer, and like you could have lost your foot. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for story time. So, are Calgary girls hot? I mean, yeah. I don't know. There's pretty girls everywhere, man. You just gotta go up and talk to them. But that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna end the video here. If you got any questions, let me know. I'll be back with an altcoin video this week, and hopefully that swing failure pattern video will be done before the end of February. So that's 12 days. I don't know why I went like this, but that's 12 days from now. I'm hoping to have it out and done before then. If you want to join my Discord, it is completely free. Shoot me a DM on Twitter, and I will tell you how to join. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a free Discord. Yeah. Love you guys as always. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the comments and views and all that shit. We're taking over this YouTube game. Love y'all so much. Peace. Have a good night.
the surface where the hurt is. Breathe the smoke into my heart.